You just can't. There's no way to bridge that gap. And that it's a theory, and that something that John plays into. But Ellie on your hand does lose Dina, and it's a result of revenge, and that's what another thing about the game, that the theme of revenge is it's pretty it's good when it comes to Ellie, but it undermines itself when it comes to Abby, and I'll explain why later. Another good thing, the cinematography slash gameplay was uh really good. That the last scene when Ellie
I
lets Abby go.
I
The
I have a few things to say about that, but finish what you're saying.
the the well, like it looked the fighting looked good. It looked brutal. Like that's what I mean by gameplay. I think by cinematography, I'm talking about like the how everything just kind of on screen, like it looked really good. The scene where Abby is gets strung up, and then Yara and Lev come to save her, and like she pulls the axe out of the person, and she's holding it, and she's being illuminated by the candles from underneath her as you hear the zombies coming in. It's such a cinematic thing. It's that was really good. The whole scene where they're riding on the horse to get out of the burning haven, that was like phenomenal. Um, the scene at the end where Ellie lets Abby go and she's just sitting in the river.
Yeah, no,
That's
the
that was really
ending,
good.
the way that they did the ending cinematography and everything, great.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. The cinematography was good.
yeah, like the cutscenes, the graphics, and everything for the game, great. Just my only thing on gameplay is there's too much of it. There's
Yeah,
too many spots between major parts of the game. Like I feel like some of the areas where you're exploring are way too big, which I think a lot of games are starting to suffer from. Like Red Dead
huh?
Online, I feel like not a lot of people enjoy Red Dead Online because of how big the map is and how far you have to go for some of these missions. Because the only places where you can really fast travel are between the towns.
Yeah.
So that was something that I found myself getting into a bit of a funk about while seeing Joseph play through The Last of Us. Was
Uh-huh.
it's just there's so much to do. It's like it kind of gets
There
repetitive
were
and boring.
moments where like the guy's video was like 30 minutes of just looting.
Yeah,
Just looting, and I was like, dude, like fight something or progress the story. Like I don't
that
like maybe we just suffer because we're not playing the game and we want to see what happens next.
true. That could
But
be it. But
but yeah, I know what you mean. Like just like there's too much happening, but not enough of it was of substance.
yeah, like there's a lot of points of the game where I feel like there could have been better and more story given. Like
Yeah,
who the hell is
that's
Dina? We know that that's Abby's love or that's Ellie's love interest, but outside of that, who the hell is Dina? How did they meet?
yeah. And Jesse was a pretty static character until like you learn that Joel trained him a bit, and he had this cool moment where he was like Team Jackson with Ellie and gives her a high five, and oh, I found a place to explore.
Oh, all right, I'll be right there.
Um, and then as soon as his character was getting like really good, like we'll get through this together, he gets killed. I'm
Yeah,
like, God damn it, Naughty Dog.
yeah, but then it's like oh, okay, Jesse's dead. Because the only thing we knew about Jesse is Dina and him dated. That's it.
Yeah, they were pretty, they were fun characters,
They
but
they were
like,
fun characters, but I feel like for Dina having such a huge role in the game, because it's not like Dina's a background character. Dina was
yeah,
in a big majority of the game,
oh yeah,
and we just kind of get love interest, pregnant. That's it.
yeah, that's good enough. Love
Yeah, but
interest, pregnant.
that's what pisses me off. And I do, yes, we do get background on Abby, but I feel like we get it way too late.
Yeah, and that's something I'll get into too. But like in terms of character dynamics, like Abby and Lev had a great dynamic. Dina and Ellie, I think they were pretty good together. And back to Joel and Ellie, like anything they did together was just you love to see it.
Yeah, and I just feel like we knew so much about Joel, we knew so much about Ellie. We love the dynamic. We know their story, but then we're sitting there with like Dina and Ellie and everything, and then it's like like their time together just kind of felt like empty. Like it didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was going to be something memorable that you could see their relationship growing because you know so little about the one. It's kind of like
Yeah, and another thing, a lot of what they try to is a pit. Okay. A lot of what they try to do with Ellie and Dina, uh, it doesn't work because a lot of it depends on the past. They're like, oh yeah, remember when this happened and this happened. I'm like, yeah, why don't you show us that? Like instead of just talking about it while you ride a horse and loot another freaking building.
yeah. Like there's so much gameplay instead of like story being figured out and everything that it pisses me off. Like
No,
the
because
gameplay and the
yeah,
fighting,
uh-huh.
great. The fighting, like when you say that Ellie is a cold-blooded killer, yes, they got that point across perfectly. Ellie's fighting was brutal. It was well
Yeah.
done.
No,
And
I think Ellie was a lot more clean with her fighting. Uh she wasn't as like I guess she wasn't sloppy. She was really clean. She felt almost elegant. Abby was brutal.
yeah, Abby was a lot was like a lot more
She
brutal of a
was brutal.
fighter.
Like I hated Abby's guts, but when I saw her punching like freaking clickers, I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
do it more.
those were the points of the game that really started to save the story. Is when they started to get into Abby's background and to show me like,
And,
oh, this is just like this is what Joseph said at the end.
mhm.
It's two humans in the apocalypse doing what they need to survive. There's no
Yeah,
good or bad guy.
that's correct.
That's
Correct.
that's the story, and I do believe that. But it's just, I feel like if they would have given us that information about Abby's father, like way sooner, like maybe at the beginning of the game, instead of replaying, the doctor scene and going straight to Joel, I feel like maybe
Yeah.
that whole doctor scene should have extended a little bit, and we see Abby run into the room to see her father, dead on the ground, and then it switches to Joel and Tommy. I feel like if we got that little bit of information at the beginning of the game, it would have made it all more like look way better. Yeah, I think Naughty Dog did this because they just wanted to add shock factor to Joel's death.
I think there's a way you could have done it though. I think there's a way you could have, and I'll get into that too. But I think that's about it I have for pros. So let me go into cons. The handling of characters was whack. Joel killed early. I think there's not much more to be said about that one.
I think Joel was honestly like his death was really dragged out. Like I think all of us knew going into that game Joel was dying.
Yeah, but like it's a matter of how and why. Had he died, protecting Ellie, or because that's it's basic, but it fits his character. So I feel like Naughty Dog didn't want to do basic. They're like, yeah, no, let's not make this a basic game. We want to think outside the box and kill Joel in a crazy, unexpected way, which is
I don't feel that was the right way to go with Joel's character.
Yeah,
I feel like they yes, they did kill him in a way that was unexpected. They should have went that way, but I feel like they should have given us some some more depth to Abby before he died.
Well,
like,
yeah, and
for us to
I'll definitely get into
understand
that.
like for us to understand that like that's
Yeah.
one of the things that really annoys me about this game.
Like one of the things Joel as a character just does not deserve such a crappy death. Like he's such a well-written character, and he needs a well-written ending. But and I think I mentioned that him, like Abby torturing him, like it makes me think she's petty, because like, you know, if you just want revenge, just kill the guy and get it over with. But no, they wanted it to be dragged. You know, the only reason why they even made her torture him was so Ellie can catch up and actually see her kill him.
Yeah. Again, a use of very, like, you know, useless gameplay time. That's what really dragged out his death, because you were like, wait, are they really killing him? Or are they, like, you know, are they just trying to let Ellie catch up and then save him, and then Joel is, like, mortally wounded the whole game? Like, they really left that kind of open. Like, I feel like everybody expected Joel to not be in the game as much as, you know, he was in the first one. I feel like
yeah, I think that was obvious, especially with the grown-up Ellie. And
yeah,
I think people walked into that thinking, yeah, no, we're just gonna play as Ellie the entire game.
yeah,
No,
like Joel was just gonna be there in the background. No, Joel's dead. Can I make one like little relation here? And this is spoilers for this is a show that recently ended, Supernatural. I don't know if you've ever heard of the show or not, but basically,
I've heard of the show. I know they ended it last night, didn't they?
Yeah, they ended it like 2 nights ago. But basically, like how the show ended is they killed, like, they had the season finale and then the series finale. And from what I heard, like, you know, the writers had to completely rewrite the ending because of COVID. They had to, like, they couldn't have all the casts come back. So the final, like, the series finale, I know a lot of people are pissed off about it because, like, you know, they killed off Dean, who everybody could say yes. They, like, you know, they couldn't see him living like a long happy life because of the character who he was. But the thing that people are so pissed off about is this guy, like, you know, he died, went to hell, came, like, he died so many times throughout that series and came back, and then a piece of rebar kills him.
A piece of what?
A piece of rebar kills him. They were in a fight in a barn. A guy pushes him to a wall that had a piece of rebar sticking out, and it stabbed him through the chest.
And that kills him?
That kills him.
That's lame.
Yeah, like, everybody's like, you know, saying that the writers really cheaped out on, like, the story for the last episode. I don't think so. I feel like, you know, the ending of the show, they really tried to show that, like, you know, like, not to get all religious or anything like that, but, like, you know, they tried to show that, you know, everything's back to normal and God has a new plan for everyone. Because, you know, obviously they defeat the old God and the Jack character becomes the new one. I feel like they were trying to show that, like, you know, everybody has a new story written to them, and that was Dean's time to go. That's what I feel like. I can
see why.
That's why I feel like the writers did that, because, of course, the whole idea of the show is that God is controlling their story. That's the whole concept of the show.
Yeah. But it's just funny to me how you know, Dean dies like that. I don't know. I always thought, and me, I am a religious person, so, but I've never understood how watching, like, I never understood how they wanted God. Oh my God, I nearly died. I never understood how they wanted God to be, you know, portrayed. Like, is he all powerful or is he not? And if he's not, is he really? I don't know. I never watched that show.
But I
always wanted to. Don't get me wrong. I always wanted to. But
I can tell you this, like, you know, did Dean get, like, a very valiant death? No, I feel like they could have given him a way more of a valiant death.
Nah,
because of everything that he's been through. But it's just, like, in that fact of, like, oh yeah, Joel gets tortured. It's not like just a quick and easy death. Like, you know, I feel like the writers may have been backed into a corner with, like, how they wanted to write the game.
There's the other issue I had with how he dies. Like, he's way too trusting. He is way too trusting of these guys. Like, I get he got soft. I get he saved. I don't think Joel from The Last of Us 1 would have saved Abby in that situation. I think he would have been like, I'm getting my ass out of here. But no, I think Joel became a better person because of his time in Jackson and with Ellie and the fact that he was just getting old. You know, I think uh him saving Abby was um that would have been a character. I could see him saving Abby, but him revealing his name to him and Tommy especially, because I still think even if Joel was getting old, Tommy still had a hard edge to him. So the fact he walk in there and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Tommy, and this is my brother Joel. We're from Jackson." Like, you literally told them everything they needed to know to kill Joel, and that just didn't make any sense. Like that, Abby got extremely lucky running into Joel,
Yeah.
and Tommy just giving out all the information they ever needed to know was just stupid. That and that caused their death. Like, for that reason entirely, you don't tell them your real names.
I just feel like, you know,
Like, hell, I don't know. When I go to like coffee shops, I don't even always give them my real name. Like, you think in an apocalypse I'm giving everyone my real name?
I'm just gonna be Bob.
Yeah, I think one time I actually it's a different story. I'll tell you another time. But one time I went into the store and I said my name was Arthur because me and my cousin were spying on his brother on a day, and they had no idea we were there because we were wearing disguises and everything, and it was great. Um, but the point is,
So what about those? What about the cashiers at Matt's coffee shop? Did you give them your real name? Huh?
I mean, I had no reason why not to. But I'm just saying, like, there
listen. I'm doing a video with you. We got to bring up the Simp story at least once.
Oh god, they called me a simp the other day because Two Birds from Dominion. We were just messing around and then I was like, oh yeah, we should do a cover of All I Want for Christmas Is You, and she starts singing and she's really good. So she's got a really good voice. I'm like, holy shit, you got a really good voice. And then Ben Spider and Clever like, simp. He's a simp, and I'm like, wait, no, she just has a good voice. They're like, Luis is a simp. And I'm like, god damn it. I can't say anything, but whatever.
No, just tell her if you want to know the real story, you can go and watch Pimp My Ranch.
That's a different story. Anyways, let me find a new direction to mine in.
That's great.
I don't even know how to get back. Like,
I told you the whole Joseph thing, right? When we were mining.
About what?
Okay, I'm not leaving that in video. I'm not giving people to call me a damn simp.
Well, you could tell me the story and you could just cut it out.
You think I'm gonna remember that?
I don't know. How long have you been recording now?
43 minutes. So yeah,
I'm only 2 pages into my notebook too, so we should probably let's give the people what they came here for. So the handling characters, Joel's death was stupid. Tommy didn't die, but the way he revealed himself was stupid. Abby, she's a well-written character, but because of the way they told her story, it's hard for you to sympathize with her. Like, had you given me Abby's storyline before she kills Joel, I would have liked her as a character. Like, you know, and her killing Joel, would that have ruined her character? If you knew why she did it, and maybe not, but I don't know. I feel like Naughty Dog wanted to be edgy, and they're like, "Hey, we killed one of your favorite characters. Now you get to play as the person who killed him, and you have to learn to love him or love her. We're gonna do our best to make you like her." And it's like, I get that what you're trying to go for here. You're trying to teach us to be forgiving, but I don't want to hear moral absolutes from Naughty Dog when they killed Joel in the way they did. Like, I don't want to hear you have to learn how to forgive people. Like, I don't want to hear from them. I really don't. Okay.
They teach you
how
not to be petty.
I did write a note as to how you could have easily written Abby's character. You know, keep the same storyline. but you just need to add one trait to Abby, and that was to make her have PTSD from killing Joel. If she had like suffered like from guilt, the guilt would have come from seeing Ellie, from seeing how Ellie suffered from watching her kill Joel. Abby suffered from watching Joel, or she didn't watch Joel kill her dad, but she saw what happened to her dad. She would have connected with Ellie, and she would have thought to herself, "Oh shit, I just caused this girl the pain I've been feeling for years of my life now." If she had PTSD, if she had nightmares from killing Joel, and you know, because of those nightmares from killing Joel, she saves Lev and does her best to try to protect Lev. Her character would have been totally redeemable. I would have been willing to accept Abby for with all that she did if she had some like underlying guilt that really pushed her character through the story. But no, she kills Joel and she's totally fine with it. She moves on with her life. And that's why you can't like her. Because it's hard to like her. Because she, like, to us, that was a traumatic experience. And to her, she's just like, yeah, I'm good. What's up? You know, oh, we're going to go find Owen now? Okay. And it doesn't even come back to bite her until that scene when she's on the pier. And she realizes that Tommy had just killed Manny. And Tommy was sniping all of them. And she pushes him off the pier. And she realizes, holy shit, that was the other dude. Oh god, they're coming after me. And that's when she realized the Joel thing comes back to bite her. And not because she feels any guilt or remorse for it, but because she literally thinks they're coming back to kill me. That's the only reason why. And, you know, you tell me, had Abby had PTSD from killing Joel, would it have made the story better?
I think she had more PTSD from her father dying, which led her to do what she did to Joel.
Exactly.
But I do feel like
think
the story would have been, like, you know, it would have redeemed her character more. Like, the story, I feel, already did a great job at trying to make us feel a different emotion towards Abby. But I just don't think it was done in the exact right way. Because I can clearly say, at the end of the game, I liked Abby more than I did when she killed Joel. I can't say I can't say, like, you know, oh, I forgive her for what she did, because the only reason that makes me like her more than when she killed Joel is because of, like, you know, she shows that she has a bit more humanity than Ellie. Because what Ellie does to Mel,
right?
Yeah,
Mel.
Yeah, what Ellie does to Mel, that is fucked up. Yeah, maybe Ellie didn't realize that at first, but
I don't think she realized it first.
You know,
and I don't think if she was thinking straight, she would have done it. But she was. This
also
was Ellie falling apart as a human being. You know, from. You know, because oh god, Ellie going after Abby is the same reason why Abby went after Abby. Wait, yeah, Abby going after Joel is the reason why Ellie went after Abby. But Ellie suffers from the things she does. You know, she realizes how far she's gone. Abby doesn't. I don't know. You know, even if it was just Joel,
Abby
the way she kills him.
No, Abby does realize this. And
when?
No, I think she realizes that she might be going too far is right before she kills Dina. Because, you know, like, because right there, Abby wants revenge for killing Mel. Because, you know, Mel was
for killing her friends.
But you know,
yeah,
I think Abby already knew that, you know, that her and Ellie were very close. And if Ellie wouldn't have said that she's pregnant, Abby wouldn't have had that moment where it's like, you know, like, do I really kill her? Do I really put this person through that type of pain?
Ellie didn't have that. Ellie didn't have someone tell her, oh, she's pregnant. Ellie didn't have a left come tell her, hey, wait, stop. You know, I think had Ellie known what Abby knew when she was about to kill Dina, I don't think Ellie would have killed Mel.
I
You know,
think Ellie
I don't
still
think
would have because of
I don't think
the
so.
no the mind state that she was in. It would have been the perfect way for Ellie to get revenge on Abby for killing one of her friends who was pregnant. I
No,
feel like
because I don't even think she wanted to kill Owen or Mel. She only killed them because they weren't gonna tell her where Abby was. I think if they straight up told her where Abby was, she would have left them be.
no.
I no,
I still think
I
Ellie
have to
would have.
disagree with you
I
there.
still think Ellie would have at least like really hurt Mel and Owen. Maybe kill Owen and then leave Mel pretty fucked up. I feel like still along the lines there would have been some type of a fight and one of them would have at least had to have died. Maybe Ellie could have used Owen to get Mel to say like, "Oh yeah, where Abby is and everything," but still,
I
I still feel like Ellie would have killed Owen or Mel to get back at Abby to have
I
like her
nah, I
kind of
don't.
revenge at the
I
same
disagree.
time.
I disagree. I think I think you're looking at Ellie a bit too harsh. I think Ellie only killed people because they frustrated her, like Nora.
I
Ellie got what she wanted out of Nora only by torturing her. I think had Ellie just had Nora just told Ellie uh, where Abby was, she would have put a bullet through her head and ended it. But no, Ellie picked up a crowbar and started bashing on her because she wouldn't tell her where Abby was. All Ellie wanted was Abby. That's all she wanted.
That's the thing though. When you say Ellie is a cold-blooded killer, I'm looking at it as of, she ain't gonna let anyone get in her way.
Oh,
And
that's
Owen
why
and
she
Mel,
wasn't.
well, that's the thing. If Abby was there with Owen and Mel, all three of them would have died because obviously Owen and Mel would have went to defend Abby.
Well, exactly. That's
The only
exactly
reason
what.
why they died is because if Ellie didn't want to have anyone to come back after her once Abby was dead. Because I feel like
No, I
if Owen were to have stayed alive, Owen would have probably went back to kill Abby, or not Abby, Ellie, because
yeah,
of their
I
connection.
I could probably agree with that.
That's
But
why at least Owen had to have died. That's at least why he had to.
no, Ellie killed him out of frustration, and
Oh yeah,
because she
no,
was
no, no. Ellie killed him
she was
out of frustration.
frustration, and because she was trying to do the torture method with him, and I think Mel went to stab her, didn't she?
Yes, I think
There you
so.
go. Like you can make the argument that Ellie was defending herself. I don't think it justifies her killing Mel, but I think had they just given Ellie what she wants, they would have gotten on scotch free. Would
Still,
they have
that
come back for her? I think they would have, but I don't think Ellie would have been thinking about that in the moment. Kind of like how Abby probably wouldn't have been thinking that Ellie was and Tommy were coming after her.
still, I feel like that they would have tried to defend
I think
Abby.
so too.
That they were defending Abby more, and it would have led to at least Owen dying.
Because look, Abby
Owen,
wasn't there at the moment, right?
yeah, but still, this is my point. Owen had to die. Owen
Yes.
had to die in that moment.
Yes, but Ellie didn't know. I genuinely think Ellie would have let them go. I don't think she would have killed Mel or Owen if they had just
Not
told her where she was.
not with the mindset that she had. I don't think she would have let them go as easily.
I think everyone she killed because they kept getting in her way. If you stepped out of Ellie's way, she wouldn't have killed you. I think if Owen had just told, oh sorry, I went to close the door. If Owen had just told her, yeah, look, Ellie will be here soon. Uh, let us go, and you could wait here and come kill her when she comes to the door. And they left. Ellie would have let them leave.
Mm, I don't think so.
You,
If they would have done that, I feel like if Abby or Ellie were to let them go, what would end up happening is they would go to trying to find Abby to whatchamacallit, warn her.
Maybe. You know,
But
but the
that's
point is,
this is
but the point is they get away.
no.
They get away. The whole point is if they just if they're just honest with Ellie, they get out with their lives. That's my argument. You got another pickaxe? Because that was my last iron one.
I do not, but we can make one. I got enough iron on me.
Just make a furnace, I guess. I got a ton of cobblestone.
I do as well. Still, I feel like Owen
Oh
or
fuck!
yeah,
Thanks, man.
oh, sorry. Still, I feel like Owen or Mel had to die. They had to.
I like when you talk about like they had to. Do you mean in the sense that they had to die because Ellie was looking at it like they had to die, or because story wise, like
Why did
how
you
are you
make so
looking at
many
it?
furnaces?
Because this takes forever.
Don't we need like 3 pieces
It's
of
a
iron?
habit. Look, it's a bad habit. I play a lot of UHC back in my day, and it's a bad habit to just make a ton of furnaces.
Why the fuck? People are sending me all types of shit on. Oh fucking hell!
What? What happened?
I'm getting Subaru memes. Oh, that was a good one too. Damn it.
Why do you sound so sad about it?
Because one of my friends, he has a Subaru that's a piece of shit, and the reason why it's a piece of shit is because it has all the stereotypical issues of a Subaru. Plus, he vapes. Anyone who owns a Subaru vapes, basically. So.
You know, I don't vape, but I was thinking about taking the Subaru on my next road trip.
You're gonna need a vape then to fit the stereotype, or to fit the stereotype.
There's no way around it. You need the vape.
No. By the end of that trip, you are going to be a cancer patient, basically.
I'm going for 12 days. Hold on, I'm just making room for my pickaxes. Whoa. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my headset was making weird noises. Oh, okay, but let's agree to disagree. I think Ellie would have let them go. You don't think so? That's fine.
No.
Um,
If not, she would have held them captive.
there you go. There you go. More diamonds. Maybe I could see that. I could see them holding.
She would have held them captive, and I feel like maybe as like a piece of leverage on Abby, she would have killed Mel or Owen.
I don't think she would have killed Mel.
No, maybe more Owen. But
knowing that Dina's pregnant, I don't think Ellie would have had the heart to kill Mel.
No, I do feel like that. Yeah, if Abby knew a bit more, then yeah. But I feel like you could kind of tell that Mel had a bit bigger of a stomach than the last time you saw her. You know. What? Did you did you disappear into the void again? Yeah, you're in the void again. Hello? Hello? Shake your head if you can hear me. You can't hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, try leaving and rejoining the call.